Welcome back to Groom's Investment Advice Hub. I'm Kevin Walsh, and I'm here with my colleague, Brigham Winters. Brigham chairs Groom's Policy and Government Relations Group. And today we're going to talk about, what does the Government Relations Group do, and how can they help with, trying to influence the Department of Labor's latest regulatory initiative on the fiduciary standard. So Brigham, just throwing it over to you. What are a couple ways that folks can work with us, and how do we help shape or influence legislation or congressional action?
That's a great question, Kevin. Thanks. One thing we try to do in the policy and legislation government relations group is really to kind of work interactively with our clients and our colleagues who are deeply into the weeds of a regulation. Part of that, obviously, on the front end, and I think there's other materials to this effect on this website, is we really dive into a reg. We look at comments, we talk to agency officials, but another aspect of that is we take that information and inform members of Congress and their staff on any issues and concerns that we see with the regulatory approach. So that includes doing comment letters to Congress, meeting with members and their individual staff, as well as committee staff who are often really deeply into the weeds and meeting with constituents and stakeholders on particular regulations. Another thing that we often help clients on is in connection with hearings, oversight hearings, where a congressional committee or subcommittee is, has an agency official in. Sometimes that's through the appropriations process. Sometimes it's just through the authorization kind of regulatory process. We help with submission of questions for those hearings to really kind of put the agency officials on the record. And then, finally, a related piece of that is if it looks like things are not going to be successful on, kind of turning the ship around in the regulatory process, we work with members of Congress and their staff and help clients on potential legislation. Trying to get bills introduced and move through the congressional process. Sometimes that means moving bills as standalone bills. Often it means trying to find vehicles like end of the year omnibus spending bills on which a legislative provision can effectively be a rider and get into law that way.
Well, thank you, Brigham. It sounds like what you do, or what we try to do, is, we bring our wonky technical expertise and, understanding of regulations when they come out, and we try to educate members and make them look good when they ask questions at hearings or when they interact with the agencies. And it sounds like you also help folks figure out if there's a legislative solution where, possibly, we can work with members in finding real legislative outcomes to policy problems.
That's right. That's a great summary, Kevin. Thank you.
So thank you, Brigham, and thank you, viewers. See you next time at Groom's Investment Advice Hub.